very useful as somebody who's actually recording.
It is being recorded, so there we go. So, hello, let's get started. So, to those of you that are here, hello, welcome. Well done on being here. For those of you that are not here and watching this on repeat, then hello and welcome after the fact. We're going to do this really simple. John and I had a conversation about this after this came about. Thank you, Alex, for instigating this conversation.
Thank you, John.
John's going to take you through a couple of slides and some of the stuff that he's doing. So I'm just going to pass on the reins to him and I'll manage everything from this perspective. We had a couple of questions in from people that can't be here. I would suggest that if you've got questions, either pop them in the chat box and then we'll catch them afterwards as well. The idea is that John would like a bit of feedback afterwards as well from about what this was like. He'll be sending that to you if you're all happy. If you're not happy with that, then let me know and then we'll get it to you some other way. But if you have any objections to John getting in touch, then let me know. Aside from that, Mr. Gray, all over to you, please, and thank you.
Right, thank you. I'll share my screen. 1 second. Share. Can we all see this? Can we see that?
All good.
Yeah,
yep.
Perfect. Right, so as this is a little lunch and learn about AI, I've left a little Easter egg nugget in there. I want someone, whoever spots it, if you can tell whether this whole presentation has been written by ChatGPT or if it's been written by me. There is one little giveaway in there. There are no prizes. I just want someone to let me know if they can see it or not. Right, so very brief overview of ChatGPT, OpenAI. Just to be clear up front, I pay for ChatGPT. It's about 15, 16 quid a month, $20 a month. It's worth it for me because it can just do so much more than the unpaid version. So the most important thing is prompting, right? ChatGPT is an AI language model, okay? So it's like having an assistant, like having a PA. It syncs with the app on my phone as well. So I've got the desktop version and then I've got the app on my phone, and so I can start a conversation with it on the desktop and it'll carry on my phone and vice versa. It's not Google, so it won't search the web unless you ask it to. So like I did with Alex, I basically asked it to go and look at its website and look at its social media and all that stuff. It won't do that unless you ask it to. It's been given all the information the whole world has ever created up until last year, 2024. And then it's updated every so often. So imagine it's an online encyclopedia that was written last year. However, it will go and search the internet if you ask it to, and if you prompt it, and if you give it specific links. I mean, I've done stuff like I won't just say, I'll go and look at www.graymedia.co.uk. I've asked it, like, go and search all of does anybody use Reddit? Anybody on Reddit? Like, I will say to it, there's Reddit is a social networking platform. There's things called subreddits, which are different categories. There's loads of different categories. I've said to it, go on Reddit and look at all the different subreddits that are relevant to X, and it'll come back and it'll reference everything and give me links to all the different subreddits. So it will do it. It's a conversation partner that helps you create and refine all of your ideas. And most importantly, it's only as good as the instructions you give it. All right. AI will not take your job. It will not make you redundant because AI relies on the idiot at the other end of the keyboard. Okay. It's only as good as the prompts you give it and the questions you ask it. A bit like Google. If you can't get the answer you want on Google, you're not asking the right questions. So I'm just going to go through the do's and don'ts, and then we'll go into a live demo. So give it context, right? Be specific as you possibly can with your prompts. The clearer you prompt it and the more information you give it, the better the output and the answer you're going to get. Give it context. Set your tone or your format. So you can say to it, write in a professional, friendly tone under 100 words. You can, if you really want to, you can say to it, write like a pirate and give me a 500-word blog post on landscaping in the tone of a pirate from the 14th century, and it will. Add examples. So you can post a link to a website in there and set up their blog, a competitor's blog if you really want to, and say, I want the style to be exactly like this, and it will write it out for you. Thinking conversations, not commands. So I'll try and dig out an example in a minute. I argue with it loads. Like I've tried to get it to create me an image in the past, and it's not doing things I want it to. And I will say, I literally said, "You're not listening to me. Go back a step and do this." And blah blah blah. I will get angry with it. Ask follow-ups as well. So when you give it a prompt and it gives you an answer, that's not the end. Continue the conversation and ask follow-up questions and ask it, refine it, and keep refining it and fine-tuning it until you basically get the answer you want. Use role prompts. So like I said, if you really want to, you can get it to act like a pirate, but tell it who you want it to be. Okay, so act like a marketing strategist. Sorry, Cara. Tell it to pretend you're a social media manager. Sorry, me. Pretend you're an expert copywriter for local trade. Sorry, Jill. Just tell it how you want it to act. You can have it act. If you're having family problems at home, you can tell it to act as a relationship therapist, and it will. It'll save you a load of money and you won't have to go to therapy. Give it real data, real information, and real examples. Like I said, the more you give it, the more you spoon feed it, the smarter your results are going to be. Paste sample text, examples, reviews from other websites, blog posts, just give it anything. You can upload spreadsheets, Google Docs. If you've, I don't know, your accountants and your end of year annual accounts, you can give it that and tell it to analyze that and go for audit that. Do absolutely anything. So spoon feed it. Use it to save time and not just write out a load of text for you. So think beyond writing. So you can draft proposals, emails, blogs, brainstorm campaign ideas, come up with keywords for SEO for your website, create checklist plans, customer FAQs. So this is just work related. I use it personally as well. So I've got a folder project for like fitness and health. So I will put on there, I want to eat 2,000 calories a day. I want to lose a stone within 2 months, and I've got £50 a week to spend on food. Write me a plan, and it'll come up with a fitness plan. It'll come up with a shopping list for me, and then I'll say, right, I shop at Aldi. Tailor this shopping list to Aldi, and X amount budget per meal per day, and it'll give it to me. And then it'll say this one might be a little bit over, this one might be a bit under, and then I can go back in a month and go, actually, I'm shopping at Sainsbury's now. Can you please rewrite this list? So I've got a shopping list to go and use at Sainsbury's, and it will completely write it out. So you can use it for anything and everything. I do. It's brilliant. Train it in your style. So give it examples of your brand tone on previous posts, any blog posts you've written, any social media posts you've written. WhatsApp chat history. If you've got a chat history with friends, family, clients, whatever, you can export your chat history and upload that and say to it, go for the yeah, Alex. Yeah, honestly, I've done it in the past. Just go through the chat history and tell me what my tone of voice is and my style is and my personality traits are. I've done that with other people. It's really clever, and it'll pick out. So obviously, like we've worked with now, we've learned a little bit about this profile and personality traits and all that stuff. And I will then say to it, act like a, I don't know, psychologist or whatever, and pull out different traits of people so that I then know how to act with them and manage them and try and hopefully get the best out of the relationship. And ask for step-by-step outputs. So it might say to you, here's a plan, but say to it, right, refine this, give me a 5-step plan to put this in action, or give me 3 different versions of this LinkedIn post you've just written me, or write me 20 more hashtags that are in the same style as the last 10 you just gave me. Okay, so just keep, like I say, keep prompting it and keep refining it. And the more you do, the more it will learn. And then going forward, the less you'll have to prompt it because it will know more about you. And some common don'ts and common mistakes. Don't expect it to be perfect first time. It's absolutely not going to be perfect first time. You will need to tweak prompts and rephrase requests. Like I've said, I argue with it all the time because it just doesn't. But then it's my fault because I'm not giving it the right prompts and I'm not asking it the right thing. However, it does get things wrong. Like I've asked it to create a badge, like a football club badge, and it's come up with a great badge. Apart from, I just want to change one little color on it, and I've said keep everything the same, but change that color from red to blue, and then it completely redoes the whole badge. So then I go back and go, no, you didn't listen to me. Go back to the previous step. Pay attention. Just change the color in the bottom right, and it will get there. I mean, the change in AI over the last 12 months is unbelievable. It's just rapidly changing, and it's progressed so much. So it's gonna get more intelligent the longer we go on, but you need to prompt it. Obviously, don't give it confidential or sensitive data, i.e., private client info, passwords, and any financial information you have on there. If you want to give it your own financials, that's absolutely fine. I even ask it to do a personal budget for me, mortgage, bills, all that kind of stuff. It'll create a budget for me, and it'll update it and revise it monthly when I give it some extra inputs. Don't ask vague questions, i.e., I'm an accountant, write me a post for LinkedIn. Well, that's really vague. It's going to give you something that is a load of waffle, and you're probably not going to want to put out. And probably another accountant or millions of other accountants have put out on LinkedIn because it's so vague. Just be very specific. Don't ignore your total audience. Always tell it who you're speaking to and how you want to sound. So you might have 2, 3, 4 different target audiences, different markets you want to target. So you can create chats for each audience. So when we do a live demo, I'll show you. I always create a folder, a project. So I have a project per client that I work with, and then that client might have loads of different target audiences, and then within a project there'll be loads of different conversations. So then you can build. It will build a persona, and it'll get a better understanding of you and your business or whatever you're trying to teach it if you put it into a project. Because what a lot of people don't realize is each chat has a memory limit. So there's only so many conversations you can have with it in one chat that you start. So it'll go on and go on and go on, and then it'll start to slow down, and you'll be like, oh God, why is it taking so long to show me an answer? And then it will eventually say memory capacity. But if you put that in a project, you then just start a new chat in the project and go, continue what we spoke about in the other chat, and then carry on. And it won't have forgotten what you've been talking about in that chat because it's within that same project. So whatever you do, always set up a project folder first, and then start a chat in that. It's one of the best things you can do. Don't copy and paste without editing. So never just copy it off of ChatGPT and paste it straight into LinkedIn or your website or a blog post or anything. Always proofread. It's American, so there will be a lot of Z's instead of S's in there. ChatGPT loves a long hyphen rather than a little dash. If you go on LinkedIn or any other social media platform and the post is flooded with emojis and it's got loads of those really long dashes, that's ChatGPT. It's AI. It's an easy giveaway. So always proof it and personalize it. Don't assume it knows current events. Like I said, its knowledge base was up until the end of last year, unless you ask it to search websites. So it won't know, for example, that, I don't know, Trump's brokered peace in the Middle East or something. It won't know that, right? Unless you specifically go and say, send it a link to Sky News's website and go, look at this post. Talk to me about it. Prompts can be reused as well. Save your best prompts for regular tasks, i.e., if you're asking it to write blogs, email templates, you can create content calendars. So you can create a content calendar initially with it and then save that and then basically re-upload it and say, continue this, revise it for December, January. One of the sneaky things I do with some of my clients, if they don't give me anything, I had a client that didn't give me any new content for about 6 months, and it's really hard work because they expect me to come up with loads of new ideas and content, even though they don't give me anything. So it got to the point where I just went onto ChatGPT and said, "This is October's planner from 2023. Please rewrite it, revise it, reorder all the posts, and change some of the hashtags and the call to action so that my client doesn't know it's the same planner from 2023." And it did. And I sent it to them and they went, "Yes, it's brilliant. Perfect. Please put it out." So it's really good for repurposing old content. And it won't replace human creativity. So it will accelerate your ideas and it will take your ideas and make them better. But don't forget, it's still outputting what you're giving it. Okay, so it's only as creative in its output as the inputs that you're giving it. So just it's going to be an extra person in your relationship. It's a third person. Just talk to it, be friends with it, talk to it like a therapist. Just give it absolutely everything. Pour your heart out to it all the time. The more it learns, the more it can give you. Right, we'll do a live demo then. Let's.
John, at this stage, do you already want to pick up a couple of questions that have been popped in the chat box, or do you, because you might be able to show some of that at the same time?
We can, yeah. Let's have a
It's
look.
fine. I'll talk you through some of these.
Okay.
Jill's asking, do you always use version chat 5, or do you use some of the other GPTs for certain tasks? I.e., do you split them out, I guess?
No, I always use the latest version 5. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just quicker. I just find it's quicker in its response time
Yeah.
than anything else. Right, can everyone see my screen? Can they see my
and actually
chat,
the next
right?
question from Danny would fit into it, which is why I thought I'd pick this up now. Best way to separate chats, i.e. branded content creation versus business ideas versus personal, which sits in the folders stuff that you were talking about. So maybe you can show that. And then I think Jill further down said, hadn't started off a project and start them now. Can you import existing chats with that client into the new project folder?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Technically, yes, Jill. I did that in mine because I didn't know about project until John and I were talking the other day. You can. I seem to have lost my chats. It keeps coming up with an error. So I don't know what's going on there. So yes, they're the ones that, and where can you save prompts? But yeah, that's fine. Okay. Just a couple of things that might have been relevant for what was coming up, John. Oh, back over to you.
So can everyone see my ChatGPT? Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
So on the left, I've got all of my projects, right? So if you want to move a chat within a project, or we've got loads of chats, normal chats, when you just start a normal chat, if you want to put that into a project, you just hit the little 3 dots and then move to project or rename or whatever you want to do. You can move them around. So always start a project, and then you can end up having multiple chats within each project. So Alex has kindly let me use his example for you guys. So following what he put into the group chat last week, I could have come onto here and say, I need some more inquiries in my landscaping business, right? That's a bad prompt because it's going to come out with a load of stuff that might not be relevant, and it's going to be really vague. And then you're going to either go, well, ChatGPT doesn't work, or you're going to spend ages trying to figure out how to make it work. So I basically just pretended I was Alex and poured my heart out to it and just said, my friends run a landscaping business, huge drop in inquiries. He's worried he's not going to have enough work on to pay some of his team. Please put together a plan for, and this is a key thing when you're talking to it, just say, before you proceed, please confirm that you understand. Okay, so I said, first, please take a look at his website and confirm you understand the nature of his business. And it'll come on, it said, I reviewed his landscape in business, his website and everything related. Here's what I understand. And then it gave me a full breakdown of his service and positioning, his market, geography, brand message. It looks at his LinkedIn, Instagram, everything, weaknesses and potential gaps that it can see. And then it'll say, if this matches what you know, we can now build a plan to revive his inquiries, diversify income streams, shore up cash flow, blah, 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 blah. Would you like me to propose a phased recovery growth plan, i.e. immediate steps, long-term, that kind of thing? So these little buttons under here, you can copy and paste this. So basically just you can copy all of this and then paste it to a Word document or an email, whatever you want to do. Not a lot of people use these, the little thumbs up, thumbs down. So this will help it learn a lot quicker. So if you like this response, you think it's perfect and it's hit the nail on the head, you can hit OK, tell it it's a good response. If it's come up with something that's completely irrelevant and it hasn't grasped the nature of Alex's business whatsoever, I would just hit bad response, because then it'll learn. So the more you do that, I'm guilty of not doing this that often, I forget, but the more you tell it whether it's a good response or a bad response, the more it'll learn. And sometimes, depending on what they're doing in the back end and developing and stuff, it might split it into two, its answers, and it'll give you response 1 and response 2. and there'll be the same content, same topic, for example, but they'll be worded differently and all, you know, some slightly different insights and feedback. And then it'll have a button to say, do you prefer response 1 or response 2? That's when they're doing a bit of research there and to try and work out whether it's working properly. So I'm happy with what it said. So obviously Alex said he was struggling to get inquiries and business. So I made a point of saying to it, let's focus on reviving inquiries. And most importantly, how can we do that with the lowest investment cost possible? E.g., do we focus on paid ads, lead gen funnels? And then it said, perfect, we'll focus on reviving all the inquiries for Alex's business and keeping spend low. So then it come up with 3-phase plan for me. Okay. So give me costs, estimated costs. These are ideas of what to do. I mean, for me, in my business, like marketing, 9 times out of 10, this is stuff that I know, but I will always go there and go, oh Christ, yeah, I should do that. Oh shit, yeah, I should do that. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I know it. It's in the back of my head. I know it because it's my career and background and everything. But it helps me it prompts me to get it out of my head and get it onto pen and paper. Just giving some tips for website conversion, what to do on Facebook, Instagram refresh, and then phase 2. So after he's done all of this work, then move on to phase 2. So how to generate more inbound lead generation, what to do with Google Maps, SEO boost, partnership outreach, email, WhatsApp, and then optional paid advert add-ons. So local service ads, Facebook lead ads, that kind of stuff. And then it's given him a checklist. So then it said I can create a step-by-step action plan for the next. So this is quite vague, right? It's not vague, but it's high level. So it's then said I can then give him a step-by-step action plan for the next 30 days, showing exactly what you should do each day and week to bring inquiries back up without spending more than £100 total. Would you like me to build that next? I just said yes. If I wanted to, I could have tweaked it a bit more and said yes, but include X, or no, I want you to do this. And then it's come up with a 30-day, week by week, a day by day plan, which for people that aren't really in marketing, and you know, this is invaluable. It's perfect. So for me, if I was being really tight and I didn't want to use Alex to come and landscape my garden, I could say, I've never done gardening before. I want to know how to do it. I want step by step, all the tools I need, what I need to do. So if I want to like sub-base, laying a patio, if I want to put compost down, what I need to know absolutely everything. Pretend I'm a complete beginner and I've never done it before. Give me step by step guide. It'll come up with it. So between ChatGPT and YouTube, there's nothing in this world none of us can do if we want to.
Nice. Like that. So I'll go through a couple of questions that were in the chat box, and then if you've got any more on the back of this live demo, I've highlighted a few bits that came out of the conversations that I had with Brad over the last 700 weeks. That might also add a little bit extra flavor depending on where you are from a AI comfortableness position. Question from Danny: where do you save prompts, John?
So for me, I just save them in a Word document at the minute, or the Notes app on my phone, or something. Just personal preference, and then I know I can just copy and paste it in.
And I think Louise, who couldn't make it, asked a bit similar question, isn't it? The best way to build a bank of reusable prompts for regular tasks like social media, emails, or quotes, so you're not starting from scratch. Yeah, just save them in your in a separate folder. Yeah, Terry did say that she had to go, but she'll catch up on the rest. Thank you. Alex, pay for the personal version as opposite to the business version. It's £5 cheaper. What's the difference? Do you know?
I actually don't know. No, I just pay for the normal version. Yeah.
Maybe Alex, good idea is ask ChatGPT what the difference is between both of them and see what it says.
Yeah.
The only thing I've found so far is that you can't get an invoice. on the personal one. So I currently can't put it through the business, but if I'm paying £5 less per month, it doesn't matter. But I just don't know if there's any other benefits. That was all.
I would
I'll
just ask
ChatGPT.
Not that I
ChatGPT.
know of.
I would ask
No,
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Well, maybe I'm on the business one then because I can get an invoice.
yeah, that's what I mean. I pay £8.99 instead of 15.
Right. Okay. Fine. I'm on the business plan then. Yeah. Fine.
And even before you start,
Oh, although not all at once. Right, Danny, Sue, then Jill.
Isn't there an ability to share with team members on the business one?
I think that's one difference. Yes.
Possible.
Yeah.
Possible. Sue?
You can still put it through the business.
Without an invoice.
Yeah, because it hasn't got VAT on it anyway, because it's American. So it'll just put it through as bank payment.
Oh, I need to talk to Danny
Tell
then.
Danny to speak to me.
Okay.
I was just going to say, even before you start with the prompts for specific projects and clients, do the triple dot in the top right-hand corner and personalize it. Tell it who you are and what you do and stuff about you. You can put quite a lot in there. So mine knows that I'm based in the UK, but I also have some global clients in America and Germany. It knows that the tone is generally authoritative and knowledgeable, but sometimes quirky and light-hearted. It's, you know, I've told it quite a lot. I've told it not to use Oxford commas. I've told it not to split infinitives. I've told it about the long dash. Sometimes it forgets, but, you know, etc. So I've used those 3 dots, and that's on the unpaid version as well. You can John, have you personalized chat back at you? If you like arguing it with it, have you told it to be sarcastic and whatever back with you?
No, I like how it is at the minute. I think when because you can
personalize chat so it can be like like straight talking and to the point, or it can be extra fluffy and soft.
Yeah, you can change the personality of it, and then you can if I'm on my phone and maybe I'm out for a walk or doing whatever, I will hit there's a little audio button and it will speak the response back to you. I quite like the lady that speaks back to me, so I've just left it as it is at the minute, to be honest.
I think it was Danny who had a story around that he started doing that and that he had to stop it to tell it to use so many ums or something like that.
Yeah, because when I
I mean, to be fair,
pause a lot and it started to replicate that back to me, and I realised how frustrating I am when you talk to me.
I mean, I'm still little learning all the time. Like in the beginning when I started using it, I was getting really hacked off that it was obviously it's American and it was, you know, no U in colour and all that kind of stuff. And I did a BNI 60 seconds and I explained all that. And then someone in the audience went, why don't you just ask it to do it in UK language? I went, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
So
if it's not doing something you want it to do, just ask it to do it the way you want it to do it.
And I think Project possibly is on the paid version, but the personalization is on the free version. So even if you haven't got the paid one, you can still do the personalization part.
Cool. Couple of things. Actually, I'm going to ask one question first because this came from Sarah Ford. She couldn't be here today, but I want all of you to type the answers in the chat box, please, because I think it's a good one for all of us. One of her questions was, she had 3 questions, but one of her questions was, what are your favorite things to use chat for that aren't social media or website related? So like John said, he's using it for like almost like, you know, a bit of counseling and also some health related stuff. So please type in the chat box, what else are you using it for if it's not social media and website related, just so we can all learn from each other. A couple of other questions, John, that we've got that I just want to make sure. Are the principles the same in Copilot? I would imagine.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, AI principles go across most AI models, but I'm literally just about to start exploring Copilot because going back to what we were talking about earlier about Claude, I want a audio note taker that can then transcribe it and then turn it into an action plan, all that kind of stuff. And Copilot is a potential. So I don't know anything about it, but essentially they are basically the same.
They both use the same language model as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's possibly the same. Couple of other questions from Sarah. What are the best ways to keep my tone of voice consistent across all the content chat creates for me? I find it frustrating when it sounds so generic and or American. I think you've kind of answered that already, but let's just recap.
Yeah, again, like Jill mentioned, personalize it in the settings so you give it information about you and then also start projects So creative projects based on, I mean, it's more important for me for a service-based company. It's got loads of different clients and they've all got different tones of voices and all that kind of thing. So it's more important for me to create projects. But if you're, like B2C kind of thing, then it's all about your personal tone of voice and your brand's tone of voice. So the most important thing is to do it in the settings, like Jill mentioned, but then also create your projects based on your audience type and your market segment.
Also, what I would add to that, what really worked for me is because I use it for a lot of obviously written stuff. I fed it back, so I would copy it. I would make updates that I felt are more my tone of voice, and then I would feed it back in and say, these are the changes that I've made. And then you can see it updating itself, and it learns then what your tone of voice is or how you like to structure things. So just if you are doing that, yes, it takes a little while, but it just keeps me
It does learn. I mean, like mine's set to be kind of like middle of the road, not too sarcastic, not too friendly. But I mean, there was a couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with it about, I think something I was doing marketing related didn't work, and its response was, "Oh, that's really tough to hear, mate." And I went, "Mate, don't call me mate. I haven't called you mate."
Nice, like that. One other question I had from Sarah: how can I train or teach a chat about my business, services, and audience so it gives more personalized and accurate responses? I've shared with it my website, landing pages, and social media accounts, but what else can I share?
Everything. I would give it individual blog posts, your reviews, like send it to your Google Business Profile. If you've got Trustpilot account, give it absolutely everything. Give it, like I've said, you can export WhatsApp chat history and it will learn your tone of voice and style off that. If you've got email chains, you're happy to share with it. Obviously, as long as you're GDPR compliant, upload them and it will learn your tone of voice and your style that way.
If you've got any transcriptions on any of the videos that you have on YouTube, equally, you can put those in there. At the minute, you can't copy and paste videos in there because it doesn't learn from that. But if you've got them transcribed, then you can upload that as well, and then it will take that equally. So that's a good one.
If you haven't got them transcribed, just play the video from your phone to your computer with dictate enabled in Word, and then you'll get a basic transcription that you can use.
Or now Claude, I guess, can equally do that. You can do the same kind of principle. So yeah. I saw a couple of other things there, John, that I just want to make sure. So yes, Cara was asking Alex if he's been putting into action what you had created through here and what the results are. From what we can see in the chat, it's in progress. So Alex, that might be nice if you keep us up to date on, how you're finding, like what's working, what's not working, that kind of stuff.
Yes, what I really wanted to, I haven't had a chance to say it yet, but first of all, I've emailed you personally, John, but thank you so much for doing this. Like, it was such an eye opener, and it's given me literally a plan. I said to Nell a few weeks ago, I don't know what to do. I've got some time on my hands. That's getting filled up again at the moment. And I just said, and now I've just got all this stuff that I can work on. So yeah, thank you so much. Really, it's
my pleasure.
Really, really nice
pleasure.
to see. So thank you. But yes, I am working my way through it slowly.
Perfect. James has also popped in, John, in case not John, Alex, in case you haven't seen the difference between business and personal chat. He probably just gone and asked. Then I'm reading through all the bits that you guys are using it for, which is great. I'll make sure that I've got a list of that. Use audio version just to chat to GPT. Yeah, good. Converting pictures, absolutely. Use with kids, yeah. Yes, you know what? Actually, Cara, someone else said that they've been using chats to come up with a plan to be fluent in a language or to learn a language quicker. And considering I've been on blimmin' Duolingo for like over 600 days and I still don't really feel like I can speak. I'm interested in trying that one.
You do have to be really careful with everything. Always proof. Like, so yesterday I put in, a client sent me an image of a new premises they're taking over in December. And they sent me a photo of it, but it's got the to-let board on the front of it, of the building. So I just stuck it in and said, can you please remove the to-let sign on this building? And it did it. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant. But then I proofed it and checked it with the original, and it took the canopy off the front door for some reason, just turned it into a plain brick wall. So then I had to go back on and go, no, please do it again. Leave the rest of the building as it is, but just remove the to let sign. And then it did that, but then it put the client's logo on the wall. And I went, no, I don't want the logo on there. I just want you to remove the to let sign and have a plain brick wall. So you do have to fight with it sometimes.
Nice.
Photoshop's better.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah.
no good at Photoshop, so I use Canva.
Send it my way, it's fine.
But I totally agree, John. I did similar. I had a huge sustainability report from a parent company, and the other company wanted to do something about it, and I fed it into chat and then gave it to one of my writers, the normal writer for that client, asking her to de-chatify it and blah, blah, blah. And she quoted the report, and it wasn't a quote. So I reckon chat said, the report says, and said something as if it was directly quote, and it wasn't, you know. And so, yeah, it does trip people up if you don't check it. Don't just copy paste.
It will ask me if I want it to do something, and I'll say yes, and then it'll go, oh, I can't do that. I haven't got the capability. And I'll say to it, why did you just ask me if I wanted to do it then? So basically, I use this online presentation tool called Beautiful.ai. It's an online PowerPoint. I prefer it to PowerPoint. It's much easier getting really creative and making it look nice and pretty. But that came about from ChatGPT, putting a load of slides, the content of slides together. And at the end, it said, do you want me to create a PowerPoint deck or a Beautiful.ai slide deck so you can export it into this platform and then create it that way? And I went, yes, please use this. I can't do that. I can't give you the exact slides, but I can give you the text. There's a text file, and then you can copy and paste it in. I was like, well, why did you just say you can do it then?
You're challenging it,
It's
John.
not.
You're pushing it to the edge of its capabilities. But
When it collapses,
having an annoying little sister.
yeah. But I saw a website of a company that I would like to do some work with, and I read their homepage, and it was horrible. And I copied and pasted it into chat and said, "Did you write this?" And it came back and said, probably yes, and it highlighted which bits it thought, you know, whatever. And then it recommended it recommended an AI detector. So I've got two now, and I pretend to my team that I use it on their blogs. I don't really, but it doesn't.
The three key giveaways for me where you can tell if it's AI are flooded with emojis. Number 2 is when they use that really long hyphen.
Yeah.
And the third is cliche quotes like unlock your potential or accelerate your growth now, that kind of stuff. That's all on AI,
easy.
ChatGPT.
I have one more, and it's my answer to your question at the beginning. I'll put it in the chat. I said, I'm not sure I spotted your deliberate Easter egg, but I will have an answer when you ask us the question again.
Oh, I missed that one, Jill. Sorry.
No, I've only just put it in. I didn't want to interrupt the flow. But
yes.
Beginning.
Yeah. It's just.
But I don't spot it in
I've got-
video. I spot it in text. My kids told me off for sharing a video with them that I thought was chimpanzees doing, and they were like, "Oh, Mum, that's just so fake. That's just so AI, you numbnuts." And I was like, "Really? I thought one chimpanzee really did put his dinner bowl on the other one's head and play it like a drum and whatever." And but it's so funny. My radar to spot it in text is like my antennae are buzzing the whole time. But video, you could fool me. I wouldn't have missed the missing canopy on the wall in the photograph, clearly.
Interesting though, isn't it? Danny,
So
you've got a question?
I've got some
Right, John, I just want to grab this before we lose it. On that point of the things that are really obvious that it's ChatGPT, have you created some rules in your GPT to say don't use emojis, don't do this, don't do the other? And
no, I love an argument. I should do, but I love an argument too much.
You can do, Danny, so you can make it as part of your rules, but I'm finding that it's still, like Jill was saying, like even with the M dashes, there's a few other bits that I've asked it not to do, and it's still doing it. So I chuck it back in and I go, I don't want any of these in or whatever.
Same with me. 9 times out of 10, I'll say rewrite it and take all the emojis out or that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you go.
I was just going to say, one of the best things I did with it, and I absolutely love it, and it's my favorite thing. I was writing an article for a spiritual magazine, and I asked ChatGPT to write it an article about the Pendle witches in the voice of Janet Devises, who was a 10-year-old child, and it wrote it amazingly as if a child had written it, but it wrote it all in Old English.
Oh wow!
And it was just fantastic. I was just blown away. I thought it was amazing.
Oh.
So it's just so clever.
Slightly random one there, Sue, but thanks.
Well,
anyway, one question that Danny also put in, John, that we haven't got yet is, have you figured out how to export things like spreadsheets from data it produces? It keeps telling me it can't.
It can. So as in like the data it gives you, then exporting that as a Excel file.
Yeah. I mean, I did one recently, and it gave me a chart of comparisons comparing Sky to Virgin, but whatever. And then it said, "Oh, well, yeah, I've created a nice stamp." I don't know where he's put it. Where would, if they've done it, if it's done it, where do I get it?
So there's
if it hasn't done it.
Well,
shows up
as a link here. If you can still see this here. So, would you like me to create a downloadable version, PDF or Google Doc? So I would just go and say, I want you to put this in. If it gave me a table and a chart, I would say I want you to create a .xl file for me, editable, that I can then, plain text that I can then go and edit, that kind of stuff. It's not there yet for creating nice, super sexy spreadsheets, presentation stuff, which is why I've gone to use this other thing called Beautiful.ai. Like I've tried to get ChatGPT in the past to make me a branded PowerPoint presentation, and I've given it my brand colors, my logo, spoon feed it, everything, and then it just comes with like the slides will have the colors, but just as one background, and then just like Times New Roman on the text, and then no logo. It can't do that yet.
But Danny, it will show up as a link. So it will say here, and then you click on it, but it's also got an expiration date. So if you if you don't do it within a certain time, if you then try to do it, it'll say it's no longer available, and then you have to ask it to redo it. Cara?
I sometimes I often ask it, because I ask it to create. I'll give it a piece of one of my videos transcribed. I'll say, please, can you create 3 LinkedIn posts, 2 Instagram posts in my tone of voice, complete with hashtags, because I hate hashtags, and give me ideas for visuals. And it will then give me ideas for visuals, because like you guys, I've kind of gone, create a visual. And then it goes, I can't create a visual. So I just ask for ideas for visuals, and it just gives me enough of a place to start, if that makes sense. So that's how I'm getting around that at the minute.
So if we want to quickly, then 5 minutes, I've got some prompts that I can put in here just as like a live demo. So keeping Alex's conversation going with it, I've got a few prompts just to give you some ideas. So off the back of what it now knows about Alex's business, I can then say, right, I want you to write me a 100-word Facebook post for, what is it? AJT Landscaping, about preparing gardens for winter, friendly, helpful tone. Finish with call to action and 5 hashtags. There we go. Right, put an emoji at the beginning, which is automatically it's red flag for me. I will take that out if I put it onto LinkedIn or anything else. Okay, so it's giving me a short post. So then I can go, right, I just want to make it, expand on it a little bit, make it punchier, I don't know what's bringing up that photo, make it punchier, add emojis, and end with, right, so see, it's not really put a call to action like I wanted it to. It's not put a website, an email address, telephone number. Maybe it's because it doesn't know it, but I'm assuming it knows it because it's been on his website, it's been on his LinkedIn profile, it's been everywhere, and it's got his details. So end with a call to action, alluding. Is it going to do it? There we go. Right, so it's put his hopefully that's Alex's mobile number and his email address.
No,
He stuck it in there. Yeah. Is it not his mobile number?
No.
Right. Okay. So there you go. So you have
That's
to proof,
weird, yeah.
right? You have to. Yeah. You always have to proofread. Yeah.
Oh, call the
And
number,
then-
call the number. Let's see who answers.
Weirdly, the email's wrong, the website's right, and the phone number's wrong. There's another AJT landscaping, and I bet that phone number and email's from the other one.
Maybe. So always proofread. Always proofread. And then you can elaborate on that a bit more. So turn this into a LinkedIn post in a free line Instagram caption. So basically, I've just gone onto Alex's LinkedIn page and taken one of his posts, right? So I usually, if I'm referencing something, I usually put it in quotes or speech marks, that kind of thing, just so it can differentiate it in the conversation. I've not asked it to put in any call to actions. It might do it. So it's taken his original post and it's rewritten it. So don't be scared to repurpose content. If you've been putting a topic out like once a month, just take those posts and put it into ChatGPT and ask it to rewrite it for you and repurpose it. Evergreen content. It's what most businesses and most brands do on social.
I've also been taking presentations. So like John could take this lovely deck he showed us and turn that into, he could write me a script for a video based on this slide deck, write me an article, write me an ebook. You just whack it all in.
Can I add one thing to that? No, it's fine, John. Whenever you're finished, that's one thing I'd like to add to this.
No, that's fine. I'm just putting stuff in now, and you can just watch it as it comes out.
Okay.
Just to give you examples.
One thing that Brad was massively talking about, so he's a massive fan of Pressmaster's AI, where he says it's a bit like having a journalist where you can write articles, and he's writing like an article a day or 2 articles a day, and then turns it into social media content. He says you've got to be careful with what you use ChatGPT for. So if you are going to use it on an internal something like my nuggets, for example, that's an internal, a closed loop, it's only for the people on my database, then that's okay. But if you're going to write, for example, blogs or articles that you're putting on LinkedIn or on other people's websites or whatever it may be, if you're using chat, it's going to affect the SEO within chat at some stage, because if you're asking it to look at you, it's going to look at you and then it's going to go, oh, you cheeky so-and-so, you know, you've asked me to write all this stuff and now you're asking me to rate all this, but it's my stuff, so it doesn't see as anything new. So you're kind of better off, if you are writing a lot of articles and blogs and whatever else, to use a different AI than chat, because at some stage it will help in the future with not having used chat. It's going to start recognizing that you're being lazy / using it for what it's there for, really, but it's going to start penalizing you, is what you were saying. Sorry, John.
There's loads of stuff. Just have a conversation with it all the time. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Really cool how it can change. So I'm just looking at what you've just done there. Like how it can literally just completely change the tone of it.
Yeah, as long as you ask it to.
Yeah, like even the gnome thing, that's great.
Right, so I'll just take that same thing, rewrite this.
I'd be really happy to do another lunch and learn in the future if people are liking this topic and how to get the most out of it, because I did my BNI 10 minutes all on AI.
Nice.
And I picked the IFA as my example and showed it how helpful it is, because I was talking about drafting an email with a particular type of subject line, and chat said, would you like me to do 2, one in a more formal and professional tone, and blah blah. And I was just showing them the capabilities of what you can say. You can say, no, I don't need that, or yes, I do, or and I was saying, if you track your emails on a CRM, you can see who opened things. So you can send exactly the same email with a different subject line hook into the people who didn't open the first one. So you haven't had to create any more content. All you've done is resend an email with a different subject line. So for things like that, you know, and he might have one guy at his gentleman's club in Windsor, very toffee nosed, and he might have another young man about town, much more casual. Same content, 2 different styles of send. And you know, so I don't mind doing a lunch and learn in a month or something if somebody would like if there was an appetite for it.
Sounds like a plan. There is one thing I quickly want to share for those of you, I saw it in our coaches group yesterday. For those of you that are using the paid version of chat, so the 15, 16 pound a month one, they've recently switched everybody to a default of improve the model for everyone. So whatever you are putting in there, it's kind of going, it's going out to the whole section of it. Now you can go into your settings and switch it off. So I think if you go into settings under data controls, it's on the top somewhere, improve the model for everyone, and just turn it to off. Especially if you're using it with a lot of client data, like John was saying, like up until now, theoretically, if you've got the paid version, you could have put any kind of sensitive data in there because it was internal just for you. But now they've changed the default setting to improve for everyone, because obviously it wants to keep learning as much as possible. So go and double check that if you've got the paid version only.
I think that's one of the biggest differences between chat and Copilot at the minute, is because any of us that have Microsoft 365 licenses, Microsoft can already see all your files and folders. Why would you feel insecure about sharing them with Copilot? Because to be honest, if they wanted to splurge all of your confidential client data, whatever, whereas chat is chat what Microsoft are one of the biggest investors in chat, but they don't own chat. So do you want to give client confidential, not even confidential, it's like you're not going to break NDAs and stuff like that, but if you're putting in loads of their kind of IP and their whatever,
correct,
do you want all the other competitors to learn from that as well?
Yeah.
And how safe do you feel giving all of this to a company that you might not have done loads of research into to see who the actual owners behind it all are?
Yeah, I agree. So there we go. John, anything else to add?
No, I've just, for those who've been paying attention, I've just been having a conversation with it for the last 5 minutes, going through a load of stuff. So just continue to talk to it all the time.
One thing I don't do enough of
benefit.
is when it says, would you like me to build that next? I always go, yes, please. I don't say yes, please, but I always say please. I'm not as brutal as you. I never say yes, but do this and this and this instead of that. So maybe I need to be a bit more, yeah.
Yeah, I often will just say yes, please. That, but if I'm really thinking about it, then I'll go like I did with one of your all the way back at the top with yours. Yes, but let's focus on lead generation with a minimum spend and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I would agree. Have we got any further questions that haven't been answered yet? The one thing I would say, Cara, sorry, go ahead, Cara.
No, don't worry, it was an observation, not a question.
No, that's fine, make an observation.
And the only thing I would say, is someone who's been sent quite a few copy and pasted out of ChatGPT from various people, it's really frustrating, if I'm honest, when you get like a 12-page document that someone's just taken out of ChatGPT and says, what do you think of this? Because I'm just thinking, have you actually even looked at it? Have you adapted? Have you checked it works for your business? Do you, because, and is that what you want me to do? So I would say, if you're gonna, because I think it is brilliant and it is a good way to brief people like me or to get views, but check it first. Because I mean, like about 2 months ago, I just got a 20-page document dropped on me saying, this is what ChatGPT thinks of our website. I know it wasn't James, so don't look at James, and it wasn't Tally. And it's just like, what the fuck? You've not read through this. You've not even checked that these are your actual competitors, and they aren't, because I know they aren't. And you've not even looked at what I've been working on already. So it's another kind of beware. But when it's
that's
done,
what I will always.
Yeah, when it's done properly, it's such a
say,
great tool for people like me, because but yeah.
I will always say to it, like I've just done here, is this advice bespoke to me, or do you give everyone the same answers? I want it to be different. And then I'll say, I'll say to it, like, I know that these 5 companies are some of my local competitors. Please give me a list of similar marketing agencies that are in Surrey, Berkshire and Hampshire that are like, that you think will be direct competitors. I'll look at them and then I'll say, right, these ones are, these ones aren't. So always fine tune it, always refine, always spoon feed it. Like I say, don't take everything it says as gospel.
No, and just keep asking
one of
further
the big
questions.
things, one of the big things that annoys me is it never knows what bloody day or time it is ever. Like seriously, I'll be telling it something, I don't know, maybe about a conversation or a project or a meeting or an email, and it'll say, and I'll say, right, I've got to do that tomorrow morning, and it say it's Tuesday today. I say, right, I need my BNI 60 seconds for tomorrow morning, and it'll go, okay, great. Here's your 60 seconds that you can give the day after tomorrow on Sunday. I'm like, well, no, hang on, tomorrow's Wednesday, so day after tomorrow is going to be Thursday. And then it goes, oh, if I'm talking to it tonight, it'll go, right, later on tonight when you get home. Like, no, it is tonight. I'm about to go to bed in half an hour. Like, you want to do it like in the morning. You need, so even if I say today is Tuesday afternoon, it's 1:29 p.m. I am doing X, Y, Z. It still doesn't 100% get it. You just need to be mindful of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Quite a simple thing that it should know, isn't it? Really.
Equally, it can't put days and date numbers together. So I was pulled up last week after we put some RSVPs out from our event where it had like an auto response on it, and it was saying Wednesday the 16th when the event was Thursday the 16th, because it just put it together that was a Wednesday, not a Thursday sort of thing, and it doesn't seem to be able to logically be able to connect that type of data, despite some of the other stuff. Obviously, it is able to logically.
And I've said to it, when it's given me the wrong day, time, and date, I've said to it, can you confirm what day, date, and time it is now? And it like Tuesday, 21st of October, 1:30. It will give me it's Tuesday, the 21st of October, 2025, 10:45 a.m. I know it's not. It's 1:30 p.m. So it might get some of it right. It might get some of it wrong.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Like I said with everything, it's only as good as the idiot on the other end of the keyboard programming it.
And the only thing, actually, the one thing I would like to wrap up with today, and this massively came out of the conversations again that, Brad is heavily using all of this. And for those of you that were at the billionaire boardrooms with me will know this. He talks about like you've got to put time in your diary every single week for you to go and play around with this. Like at a minimum, whether right now you haven't got any, then start with half an hour or an hour once a week, where ideally you want to start having 30-minute slots every day where you can just feed it stuff and where you can ask it questions and go deeper on the questions and question some of the answers that you're getting back, instead of just accepting what you're getting, because this is going to be our future. And the more advanced and the more aware and the better we are at it, the more advantage we've got on our competitors who aren't there yet. So now's the time to really start learning what that sounds like, what that looks like, what you can do with it, and use it for anything and everything. So
just practice day to day. Personally, that's what I do. Like if you've got the folks coming around on Sunday and you don't know what to cook, just say to it, "I've got a family coming around Sunday, 6 of us. I don't want to give them a bog standard roast dinner. What? Give me 3 options for making it a little bit special."
Yeah, exactly. There we are. That's what we have around John's magical AI stuff, and then maybe a few others. It sounds like, or it looks like, there's a bit of appetite for this topic. So maybe indeed, like Jill suggested, we could do a few more. I'm looking at putting in a webinar because Brad made us, but just around what good business prompts to ask right now. But I'll just put that on one week in the next couple of weeks over a lunchtime equally.
And Tina and I guess whether it was you or chat, John, or what the Easter egg might have been.
Yeah, I had the same slide as you two.
The Easter egg was.
I just want to eat chocolate now.
Hang on, let me share my screen. The Easter egg was. That's not 2. The Easter egg was my extra long little hyphen. Yeah.
Boom. That's what I wrote. Right, John will be in touch for a bit of feedback for him on the back of this, so that would be helpful. If any of you have any issues with that, then please let me know. Else, what might be a good idea, John, is if I upload the recording when I've got it and then send it out to everyone, and then on the back of that then you've got everyone's email addresses.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, John. Thanks again, mate.
Yeah, thanks, John. You're a superstar. Thanks, team, for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks,
everyone.
Bye.
See you later.